Hey, it's Big T. Today I'm going to tie a pattern that I've kind of modified from a friend of mine who ties this, named Kevin Griffin. He's a really good tyer and we fished together a good bit. He calls it the Canonball, so I'm just going to leave that name for it, although he calls it that for a specific reason. He starts with this silver bead and follows behind it with an orange tungsten bead to make it super heavy. I'm just going to start with a 3.5 millimeter tungsten bead in silver. And this is a size 14 jig that I carry in my store, a jig hook along with those beads. And I'm going to take a furnace saddle feather, one of the bigger ones that really isn't good for too much, and I'm going to pinch off several of the fibers to create a tail and wrap that in. Several turns. I'm not going to wrap too far up with that because I want to leave enough of that for me to grab and trim off. But I do want to go ahead and fill that in with some thread to kind of make it even for us. And build up a little bit of a taper on this. Thread I'm using is just a black Danville 70 denier. I like the way it lays flat when I'm trying to build things up. At this point in time, I am going to do a real quick whip finish and take that thread off. On this particular version, I'm going to use a Vivus olive synthetic quill material. We also, Kevin and I tying these, will use a yellow or lime green crystal flash, and I'll take a few strands of that and wrap that body there. I like the look that this gives. It's the Vivus body quill. And we're just going to wrap that and make that tapered body. Hopefully that looks and is getting even. And then I'm going to go ahead with that and whip finish. It's a super material to build bodies with. Nice and easy. Gives it a great look. Next thing I'm going to do is take some orange dubbing. This is a UV2 by Spirit River. Guess I need to tie in some thread before I dub that. Might help. Twist that thread end around to make sure it's secured. Trim the end. This is a dubbing by Spirit River that I like in a variety of colors, and I believe we'll be able to sell this at some point through my stores. I know Hairline purchased Spirit River. We're just going to build up a thorax with that. If you have any longer fibers, just pull them off, and that will kind of spread out. They will become longer as that fly is fished, which is fine. And lastly, I'm going to take another one of those saddle hackle feathers. I like these. I've used India hen necks and like to use those for my soft hackles on smaller flies, but the fibers on those feathers tend to be really soft and tend to lay back. This is a much stiffer fiber, and so it's actually going to stick out and remain that way when that fly is fished a little bit more. trim off the excess tip of that feather. And then I'm going to take hackle pliers and grab the end of that, stroking those fibers back as I wrap to make sure I have them going in the correct direction. And if not, we'll come back and make them go in that direction, because I see a couple that aren't wanting to cooperate. Turn that up a little bit so that I can access this stem. If you trim things frequently enough that are below you like that, you're gonna cut your thread at some point in time. It's just inevitable. So I'm gonna grab some of these that don't want to cooperate. That's not gonna work out without poking myself too much. There we go. And get those back. I'm going to add a little zap-a-gap to my thread. A few more turns. Like a lot of flies, I like this little slight thread collar because it gives me a nice segmentation going from silver to the black thread to the furnace colored hackle. Sometimes that triggers fish with a different color that move along in that chain. Trim the excess thread there, and that's it. It's a great fly. It can be done in a multitude of colors. This particular color variation I find to be very effective. Got a lot of browns on that. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and feel free to visit my store.